Justice Smith, Jabari for three and the win. Yeah! He got it!
We are here to Fuel Rockets News. It's Rockets Fuel Podcast presented by the Believe Network and sponsored by Bet Online. Of course, I'm your host, Lashard Binkley. You can always find me on Twitter X at Binkley Hoops, and you can find my written work over at Rockets on S-Side, part of Sports Illustrated. And on today's show, of course, as you see, I'm in my car again. It's too beautiful of a day to be inside. So I want to give a quick recap of the three reasons why I think the Rockets were able to pull out a 111-103 victory over the Los Angeles Clippers. That was 3 in a row for the Rockets. They're now 4 games over 500. Only the second time they've been 4 games over 500 or better since 2019-2020 season. That's the last time the Rockets were actually better than 4 games over 500, which they have a chance to do on Friday. But this is only the second time that they've been 4 games over 500. As you know, the previous 3 seasons for last year were the 3 worst seasons in Rockets franchise history. So not really a huge surprise that the Rockets haven't been more than 4 games over, but it is a good mark to start with. The Rockets are 8-4. Like I said, they won 3 in a row, and they are currently in the 5th spot in the playoff race and are leading their division with losses by Memphis and Dallas the last couple of days. So I want to give a quick 3 reasons why I believe the Rockets were able to pull out the victory. I'm sure you can figure out a couple of them pretty fast, and let's go ahead and start with number 1, and that is the play of the Rockets bench, specifically the Terror Twins, Amenthompson and Tari Eason. Yet again, another wonderful game from both players. They combined for 36 points and 21 rebounds off the bench. Both had double-doubles. That's how amazing of a game they had. They were the biggest reason why the Rockets were able to pull away this victory. The Rockets started off the game struggling early on. They were trailing at one point 22-11. James Harden couldn't miss. He started off 3 for 3, actually 4 for 4. Midway through the first quarter, had a quick 12 points, and then Amenthompson, Tari Eason came in, and they completely shut him down, along with Dillon Brooks throughout the game. Dillon Brooks did do a good job wearing him down, but once Amen and Tari came in, that completely changed the game. Amen had a chase down block a play before, and then he had another chase down block, this time against James Harden, where him and Tari both got there at the same time. And then another play where he was able to guard him out towards the 3-point line, poke the ball away, force him to take a long, like 40-foot shot from almost mid-court, which of course clanked off the rim. He pretty much, him, Dillon Brooks, and Tari Eason pretty much held Harden in check after the first quarter. So much so that Harden didn't even play in the fourth quarter. Harden only finished with 7 more points after the first quarter. Like I said, the bench did a wonderful job. And not just Amen and Tari, but definitely Jacqueline and Reed Shepard. But of course, the Terror Twins are the ones that stand out the most. Amen actually even tied his career high in 3-pointers. Both corner 3-pointers. He made 2 last night. He had been working on that all off season. He's talked about, how his form has gotten a lot much better. You could tell the difference between this season and last season. So if he can continue to improve that shot and even get to a 32 to 33% range, that would be a total game changer for Amenthompson. So it was good to see him shoot without hesitation last night, because teams know they can't let him get to the basket, because once he gets there, they can't stop him. So the only thing they can do right now is back up off him and make him take that 3-point shot. So it's good to see him, like I say, take that shot with confidence and able to knock down 2 3-pointers last night. And we'll see if he can continue to, improve on that, and if the corner 3 will become the shot that helps him improve his 3-point percentage and gives him that confidence. And he finished, like I said, with 18 points and 11 rebounds last night. He was just all over the court, and then the bonus of the 2 3-pointers just was a capper, that kind of helped him have one of his best overall games of his career. And of course, you also have Tari Eason, who does what Tari Eason has been doing all year long. He's been one of the most consistent Rockets on the entire team. He came in, he had 18 and 10. Of course, his normal great defense, knocking the ball away with a couple steals, getting out on the fast break. He and Amen were the main reason why the Rockets were able to get out of the hole early in the first quarter. Were able to extend the lead in the third quarter, even though the Clippers were able to come back a little bit in that fourth quarter with their third stringers. As the Rockets kind of took their foot off the gas. But without those 2 players, the Rockets would have been in a fight the entire game, not just in the last few minutes of the fourth quarter. So again, those two guys have become the best bench duo in the entire league. Of course, I don't watch every single game or every single team, but I find it hard to imagine you're going to have two players who can give you double doubles off the bench, and they're probably going to be doing this on a consistent basis throughout the season. And they're not even playing 30-plus minutes a game. So Amenthompson was definitely the number one reason why the Rockets were able to come away with a victory yesterday. The second reason was something that the Rockets have started to improve on the last couple of games, and that was fast break points. The Rockets had 24 fast break points last night. They had 23 against Washington a couple of nights before in that win. That was their first two games of the season where the Rockets actually had 20-plus points on fast breaks this entire season. And the reason why it's so important because the Rockets have a lot of young athletic guys. They're not that great in half court yet. Pretty much the entire team. They're actually one of the lower teams when it comes to isolation points per minute. They don't have a lot of guys that can get their own shots. So them able to get out on a fast break, it helps the entire team. It energizes the entire team. This team, like most teams, thrives on emotion and being able to get those runs going. And you can do that when you're getting out on fast break and getting 24 fast break points. That makes a huge difference in your team's ability to score on the offensive end. And even on defense, like I said, it kind of gives you that energy to play even tougher defense when you're able to go down and get a dunk off a fast break. That energizes the entire, not just the team, but the fans in the stands as well. So the 24 fast break points is a huge deal for the Rockets. And hopefully you're starting to see them now try and push the pace more because, like I said, before those two games, the first 10 games, the Rockets didn't have any game where they had more than 20 points on a fast break. So it was good to see them get out on the break, be able to see a lot of those young guys like Tari, like Ahmed, like Jalen able to get out on the break. And they have the advantage when it came to, speed. The Clippers like to play a really slow game. We all know when James Harden's on the team, he likes to slow the game down a lot. And that's something that Ahmed talked about, saying that they knew that they wanted to slow the game down, so they wanted to speed it up, and that's exactly what they did with those 24 fast break points. And the final reason why the Rockets were able to pull away with this victory was Alperen Sengun, the closer. He was able to close out the game. The second straight game he did that. They also were struggling in the fourth quarter against Washington. He was able to get a couple of baskets and close that game out. Today it was not just his offense. Yesterday it wasn't just his offense. It was also his defense. Late in the game, the Rockets, the lead was down to 4 or 6 points. The Clippers were coming up fast, and Alperen Sengun faked the handoff, took it to the basket, strong, got a dunk, fell to the ground, still was able to get up behind the play, chase down the Clippers, get the block, which pretty much sealed the game for the Rockets in the last couple of minutes. If you look at the replay, he was behind everybody. He was able to hustle down the court, still get the block, and you could tell how excited he was because he screamed to the crowd and he got extremely excited. And of course, like I said, that was a big reason why the Rockets didn't close out the game, something he's done the last 2 games. And something, I know, we've heard from MA sometime and he say, occasionally why he has him out the game is, he's not always in the best position on defense. But if you look at the numbers, he is one of the top 2 players on the Rockets in defensive rating, one of the top bigs in the entire NBA in defensive rating. And he showed it again last night. His defense has definitely improved and it's helped him be on the court these last couple of games. And if he continues to play this good defense, you're going to start to see him closing out pretty much every single game because he can go give you on the offensive end. We saw that again last night, even though he struggled a little bit against Zubac, who is having a really good season, by the way. And he's definitely one of the tougher centers to play against in the NBA. Sengun only finished with 13 points, but like I said, had a huge dunk, had a couple of blocks in the game, but of course that huge block at the end of the game that was able to close it out as the Rockets kind of let them back in it with their third stringers because Ty Lue didn't play James Harden in the fourth quarter, Norman Powell, Derrick Jones. He didn't pretty much play any of his starters in the fourth quarter, and his bench players, his third stringers, were able to get them back in the game. So with Sengun able to close out the game, that definitely made a huge difference. And if we continue to see that level of defense from Sengun like we've been seeing all year long, that's going to make a huge difference for him as well as far as being able to close out these games. So that was the top 3 reason why I believe the Rockets were able to come away with that 111-103 victory. They play the Clippers again on Friday. They have a chance to go 5 games over 500 for the first time since 2019-2020, which funny enough was the last time James Harden played a full season with the Rockets. That was a COVID-shortened year where the Rockets got knocked out in the second round by the Los Angeles Lakers. But that was the last time the Rockets had this good of a record through 12 games, and we're actually over 5 games over 500, which is a huge deal because the Rockets at no point last season, no point the other 3 seasons, of course, because they were horrible, were over 5 games over 500, and they have a chance to do that again on Friday. On top of that, it's early, but you start to look at the standings, and right now you're in the 5th spot. Everybody's kind of still jumbled together, but you can start trying to put some distance between yourself and that play-in spot. And if you're able to continue to stack together wins, especially early in the season, and it's not exactly like it's been an easy schedule, but if you're able to be 9-4 after Friday's game and be on a 4-game winning streak, that is a huge deal. And you start to see that some of the stuff that may have been implemented in the last couple of years started coming into play, and you're starting to see other players besides the starters, starting to become even better players. And eventually, who knows if you see a change in the starting lineup. But the way the Rockets are playing right now is definitely a change from how they started the year, where it was kind of up and down, inconsistent. So again, the Rockets will be going for number 5 in a row on Friday. I will be out at the game, bringing you all the pre and post game, and it will, of course, be up on the channel. And we'll continue to bring you all the great content when it comes to the Rockets. And make sure, if you haven't liked the video, make sure you like the video. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. It definitely helps us out with the algorithm. And of course, as usual, let us know down in the comments, what do you think of the Rockets so far this season? What do you think is the biggest reason for this winning streak? And what do you think of the Terror Twins and what they've been bringing to the Rockets this entire season? So definitely let me know down in the comments. As usual, appreciate your support. Make sure you check out the next episode of the Rocket Fuel Podcast.